Hello, 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 and good morning. It is Suzy Walker from Psychologies magazine here for your Monday morning motivator, powered by Geo Organics. Thank you. Today we are considering a coaching question for the week around how can you champion yourself. So coaching is a very important part of our philosophy around it at Psychologies magazine, which is we're getting people to look at their lives from the outside in, to observe their lives and look at what is working and what is not. And to look at rather than kind of just being reacting to life, we're actually going to be responding to life. So our Monday morning motivator is very much about being able to observe our internal mechanisms and think, is that really serving me this week? So today I want to look at the question, how can you champion yourself this week? So champion yourself, what does that actually mean? So when I as well as being the editor of Psychologies magazine, I'm also a coach. And when I've been working with my coach, I've been coaching since the year 2000, so over 20 years. And the two characters that I always get my clients to meet are the inner coach and the inner pessimist, or the inner critic, as you may know. And all of us are very, very well acquainted with our inner pessimist, our inner critic. It is the part that brings us down, tells us we're awful, tells us that we're no good, tells us we're going to fail. And what I get my clients to do is to personify that character, give them a voice, give them an identity. Sometimes it's a kind of a Darth Vader character. Well, mine is. And so what does that look like? Give them a voice. What are the sort of things they do just as you're about to do a new project, just as about you're going to go on a date? What does that inner pessimist say to you? And so you get a really strong idea, a personification of this voice inside your head, so you can identify it. Because I remember when my coach asked me about this idea about this inner coach, or this inner pessimist, inner critic in my head, I was like, I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? Because I thought that voice was reality. I thought that was just me. So I was like, I couldn't understand. I couldn't separate my inner pessimist from actually what was the truth. So first of all, the first thing is to acknowledge and notice and observe what your inner critic says. And then I want you to do the opposite and look at, do you have an inner coach? So your inner coach is the person who maybe is the part of you that has you watching this video this morning, that says, I want to support myself. I want to find a new way. I want to find a better way. So your inner coach is the part of you that's the wisest part of you. And if we can almost connect with that, and I always connect it with, I do that with my heart, because I connect it with your heart. Once you connect with that piece of yourself, you can never disconnect. I mean, yes, you can not listen to it, or it can be, I always talk about volume. Turn the volume of your inner coach up. Change the soundtrack of your life. So what I would like you to do is to find personify, make a character out of your inner coach. So what does she say? Just about you, you can do this. Normally it's like thinking about your wisest friend or your best friend who say, come on, you've got this. It's all right. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out. We'll work our way. Imagine if you had that voice in your head. And I want you to begin to notice, so really kind of write the script down. And if you haven't got one, and many of us go to this exercise and find out we haven't got that voice at all. No, zero, no voice like that at all. And so all we've had is like living with this big, horrible, fat bully who's getting you and being really horrible to you and just, nasty and horrid and angry and really, horrible. And then you've got the inner coach who's this genuine, kind, sweet, loving, encouraging, the best kind of mum you've ever had, the best friend you've ever had. Where do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend it in the room with your the bully inner pessimist, or do you want to spend it with your inner coach? And I think once you get to a choice point, I would hope that you're going to choose the inner coach. But for many of us, we haven't been a choice. We just didn't even realize that we were listening to this really negative voice. So what I would like you to do is to personify these two characters and then consciously choose this week of notice when you start going into your inner pessimist. Oh, I knew you were going to fail. I knew you were going to screw up. I knew you were going to not do that very well. So notice that, and then see if you can find okay, that didn't go as well as expected, but you can do this, this, and this instead. What about this? My inner coach is full of ideas of what we could do instead. It's very forgiving. It's very loving. It's full of solution focused rather than catastrophizing. My inner pessimist is very catastrophizing all the time. This is all going to go horribly wrong. Perfectionism. My inner critic is you're not. You're never going to get this right. It's never going to be perfect enough. Or, I mean, honestly, I talk about it and it exhausts me even thinking about it. So I'm sure, I know from coaching over 20 years that most of my clients are very well acquainted with that voice of doom of your inner pessimist. So I really want to encourage you to get in touch with your inner coach this week and get her not only just to turn up the volume, but to actively champion yourself. So do an experiment. What happens when you actively champion yourselves like crazy? What in every situation that your inner coach come behind you and say, come on, it's not just not just wildly inanely positive, but it's just for this kind of gentle, kind, loving, non-judgmental part of you that can really help you. She doesn't compare you to anyone else. She just says, you're great, you're wonderful, you can do this. So do try to notice the voices. So inner pessimist, inner coach. See if you can choose your inner coach this week and get her to champion you like mad. So notice the kind of language we use. Write scripts for yourself. So what I do is often with my wallet, when I open my purse up, I have like the messages from my inner coach, what I did at the beginning. I also have a red box at home. When things get really crazy in my head, I have a letter in my red box, and I pull it out and it's a letter from my inner coach, which is a really good way of doing it. Dear Suzy, you've been here before and you're going to be there again. But what you need to know is, remember this about yourself. You're kind. You always have the best intentions. And I remember who I am again when my inner pessimist is saying, oh my God, you're so blah, 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 blah. It doesn't serve us. It does not serve us. It doesn't serve the planet for you to listen to your inner critic. What I want you to do is listen to your inner coach and to champion yourself this week. Lots of love, everybody. Have a fantastic week and speak to you in a week's time. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye.